So we're about to start the second match. In fact, just the first delivery there with Clove challengers against Saffron strikers. Clove challengers. With a delivery that is pulled down to the deep backward square area. It's going to be pulled back just inside. That's touch and go. Looks as though it's safe though. And they come back for what would be the second. No, they did go back for the second. It might well be just the single. But that ball was stayed so long in the air, and one thought that there was sufficient time to get the second run. So Charles now taking strike and pulls down to the mid-wicket area, gets a single. So they seem to be busy and rearing and ready to go. Clove challengers, of course, the various names of the spices, Ginger General, and Clove challengers and Saffron strikers. All of those are spices found here in Grenada. So Pascal opening the bowling for strikers. Veteran Neelan Pascal. Played cricket at the highest level for the West Indies. So first wicket has fallen. He was looking to sort of hit that inside out. That's Charles. Yes, really lost the shape there. And one wondered, Raphael, whether it may not have been better for him to hit it straight down the ground.
Yeah, all credit must go to Pascal. I think it was a slower delivery, and it just seemed to be seeming away a bit. I think it's really because of the change of pace. So you looked at where you have really forced to get to it, and was only able to hit it down to the middle fielder. But certainly a good low struck there by Pascal. And as you said, Pascal, very experienced, have been playing this game for a long time, and has certainly showed his experience in his first over, picking up the first wicket. Clove challenges at 3 for 1.
Yeah, nothing could be more damaging to a team when you lose your wicket very early, particularly in the first over. It's always a major setback.
Yeah, you want to. It's important that you try not to lose wickets very early, particularly in this shorter version, 10 overs. So you want to make sure you have a good start. And we saw both batsmen, both Hassan Jackson and Charles, were really making effort to push along things. The running between the wicket has been very good. And this one is pulled through mid-wicket for 4. Good shot, shortish in length there. And it's good to see Roland Keto back in the mix, was back and pulling this one through mid-wicket. And really to rush across the field, just over the mid-wicket fielder. And went down to the boundary for 4. So he's off the mark with 4. We now have the conclusion of the first over. Clove challengers batting there 7 for 1 with Hassan Jackson. He's done 2 from 3 deliveries. And Roland Keto 4 from 1 delivery. 7 for 1 after the first over. I don't think that Saffron strikers would feel too bad. The first over being bowled, 7 runs scored. Again, we are witnessing with tremendous condition here at Last are just playing field. The sun is shining brightly. And a pitch that normally is really good for batting, and we have seen it. Scores in the first encounter of 135. As we saw Ginger Generals losing that first game by some 47 runs. Just some adjustment to the field, just a little while before the second over will commence. Lots of just, as usual, looking at a picture. So we see the umpires just moving out a bit. Certainly some concern. We try to pick up what's the issue. The players are just lingering on. Probably it's a situation with the ball. We see third umpire now coming out with a box of ball. So it's probably something with the ball, maybe something they would have seen. Maybe the ball going out of shape and they has changed the ball. So we will see the start of the second over. But in the meantime, just to give you the teams, Clove challengers, Roland Keto, Darren Ned, Hassan Jackson, Amikel Dubisset, Javed Hazard, Cott Murray, Samuel Charles, Nicholas Redhead, Darren Hippolyte, Richard Rogers, and Sheldon Joseph. As the second over begins. They getting an overthrow there, second over being bowled. As we see spin in that second over. Lewis it is. Hotel Lewis bowling that second over. Hit over mid-off. And this one will go into the boundary for 4. Ball pitched up. And lifted easily over mid-off. And goes down to the boundary for 4. Just one bounce and went over the ropes. So that's 4 more to K2. He's on 8. 12 for 1. We are into the second over. Hotel Lewis in his first over. Off spin bowling from this southern end. Picking up a single as this one is played down to third man. They amble that single. Probably should have been looking for 2 there, but was satisfied with 1. He's looking for the big hit there is Hassan Jackson. Ones who really love to hit the ball very long. And down to mid-wicket, the fielder comes young, takes a catch. And they are really sort of soft dismissal there, Jackson. Looking to clear the mid-wicket fielder. And they just clipped it. He didn't go full flow and just played it down to the mid-wicket fielder who came up the boundary and accepted a very simple catch. And Clove challengers losing the second wicket, Jackson going for 5. And Hotel Lewis picking up his wicket and also his first over. The Clove challenger, they're 13 for 2, and we're still in the second over. But just making a point, as we see Jackson coming off there, it's a player that has the ability to really hit the ball long, very attacking player. Just seemed to struggle a bit not to get off. Clove challengers will be very disappointed to see the back of Jackson. Yeah, just have the ability to swing the ball away from the right-handed batter. As you see, it's the arm, the angle. But as he get later into his career, do develop a method of using, a lot of guile in his bowling. Played easily down to third man. Darren Ned, also a player with tremendous ability. I think it's just about 2 seasons ago he had a tremendous series. That tournament was played at National Stadium, and really showed what he's made of. Yeah, caught. Yeah. Yeah, really sensible ball in there, that off-stump line that you said. They having to reach for it. This was a quicker one that he was able to extract some bunks on this one. And we see the Ned looking to use his feet to play the drive. And that one going past edge of the bat. Yeah, good thinking by Pascal. Yeah, very good delivery. Again, that ball leaving Ned outside the off stump. Yeah, the away swinger. That ball did seem to have some pace, as it went through seemingly pretty quickly outside the off stump. 17 for 2, yeah. In the third over, Pascal ball in the second over. Again, you can see the movements of that ball just moving outside the off stump and just being able to push it in the offside. That completes the third over. Clove challenger 17 for 2. And Pascal has completed his 2 overs. Ned is on 5, and Roland K2 is on 9. Ned is on 1, K2 is on 9. So good start by the Saffron strikers. I give you the team during this over. Lewis, he continues with the second over. Otney Lewis, Kem Charles, Javel St. Paul, Rickel Sylvester, Will Williams, Adrian Thomas, Neilon Pascal, Nico B. John, Tyrone Charles, Kevin Francis, Jamal Andrews. Saffron strikers. And Lewis from the southern end off spin. Yeah, over pitch delivery. Given the right treatment, as you can see, K2, they just slightly pulling away, but had the power to hit it over long on and clear the boundary very easily. So, good shot. You need really to see some of this one. This hit down to mid-wicket. The fielder comes, takes a simple catch as that ball was hit down to that mid-wicket fielder. Once again, good bowling by Lewis because K2 was coming, looking to charge, and you could see him having to go back and really didn't get the power. I think basically his positioning wasn't in the best position, and sort of dragged it down to that mid-wicket fielder on the boundary. Who would have picked up his second catch? We probably just get his name in a while, but another good blow struck there, picking up the wicket of Roland Keaton. Yeah, I don't think it was that short. What the shot was on, I just think that he needed probably to get in a better position so that he could play that pull shot. And the delivery just seemed to bounce a bit more. Really, he was in a position to get the timing and probably the power. And it was taken down on the boundary. Javed Hazard. He replaces Darren Ned off the mark quickly with it and come back for 2 runs. Good running. We would have seen Hazard not too long ago score a 50 plate. Very good inning at Progress Park. So he's the sort of player, dashing player.
Run your first run very quickly, and that's exactly what they did. Be aggressive at the first. In the event that the fielder misfields, there is an opportunity for a second.
So that completes the spell of Lewis, 2 for 16 in 2 overs, and Pascal also picking up wicket, 27 for 3 after 4 overs.
Yeah, so both opening bowlers, they've bowled 2 apiece. And that augured very well, of course, for strikers as they were consistent. They didn't allow Clove challengers to gallop and go away with it. I think they could be well pleased with their bowling performance. Number 27 for 3. Not only have they prized out 3, but they've also restricted the scoring rate.
Yeah, I think they will feel good about the start that they had so far, 27 for 3 after 4 overs. But more importantly, picking up some top batters that have the ability really to clear this boundary with really ease. The wickets of Jackson, the wicket of Keto, Samuels. These are players who would have played at the highest level.
So Kem Charles brought into the attack. First delivery way outside the off stump for a moment.
Yeah, a little bit lucky to get away with this one.
I really thought so.
It looked pretty wide.
I think the batsman has just gone and said to the umpire, "Hey, umpster, that should have been called wide."
But Manwaring, this is the tendency of Kemba Charles, as we see over and over. He keeps the ball just wide off the off stump. Again, using a little variation now and then. Again, this one is pulled. Where does this go? Superb shot. Gone for 6. I didn't give the impression that he got hold of it.
Well, that was a lovely carry power hit for 6. Got it from the middle of the bat, from the meat of the bat. And it was always going to tower its way and soar its way over the boundary line. Fine shot. You need a few more of those, though. All the 3s on the board. It's 33 for 3 or 4.3.
Yeah, they will need to get quite a bit more. We almost halfway into the 5th over, and the ball have been obviously they probably need to replace that ball also. Hazard and Darren Ned. Ned, we know, very good striker of the cricket ball. A player that has showed a tremendous talent, actually played for the West Indies at the under 19 level. I think it was in South Africa. We're a tremendous player.
Yes, I think he's a very gifted player. He's got great talent. And how important it is, of course, Rafael, for your talents to be properly harnessed. And it is so important that players are exposed to good coaches and also good mentors who, when they face challenging times in their lives, in their sporting experiences and career, can be guided accordingly, can be helped. And I think that's one of the things we find missing, not only in local sports, but in sub-regional and regional sports, where I don't think as many of the players get the sort of mentorship that they should be exposed to.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I would say too, a lot depends on that particular player, that's a sense of discipline, because you can have tremendous talent, but it's required for you to be disciplined in terms of your workload, your schedule. You had to spend time in training. You had to spend time in getting yourself match ready, prepared. Whether you're a fast bowler, you need to work on strengthening your ties and so forth. So a lot depends on the particular player.
And I do agree with you.
Discipline.
I do agree with you, Rafael. And that's where mentorship comes into.
Yeah.
So that those important ingredients could be stressed and could be nicely outlined to them about the value of those virtues that you've just outlined.
Yeah. We come back to the point. This one comes off the edge and goes down to the boundary for float.
Well, it doesn't matter all the time how it's done, but rather the result. And that was, he was looking to hit that through maybe extra cover. In the end, his head was somewhere looking towards mid-on, and it peeled off the outer edge and went down to the boundary for 4. Fortunate, but fortunes do favor the brave at times.
Ned moves to 12, 37 for 3. Still we into the 5th over. Kem Charles in his 4th over. Gone for 10 so far. This certainly we call a wide. As you see the variation, they looking to attempt a quicker delivery. But just to go back to the players in terms of they're moving from one level to the next level.
And that's it, a long way up.
The fielder is coming around and takes the catch, and seems to be some good work there. Ball taken just before the boundary, and I guess it will be confirmed. Just looking back here. And Ned hitting this one down to, let's see. And it will be signal 6.
It will be signal 6. So that's a carry power hit. 6 runs. When he made contact with the ball, his right foot was over the boundary line. Yes, 6.
Lofted, over cover. Not a very good shot. Over pitch delivery. And Darren Ned really getting into position, lifting this one over extra cover for another 6.
Well, another carry power hit over the boundary line. He's certainly into his groove now. Adrenaline flowing.
And that brings up the 50. So at the halfway street, 50 for 3, and Ned quickly rush on to 24.
And this is when they really need to keep their feet on the pedal. There's no reason to take it off or decelerate. At 50 for 3, halfway stage, the next 5, they would want it to yield at least 70. And if they do that, get to 120 runs, then it's going to be a good working fighting total.
Yeah, certainly 120 here, 125 should be a good total. But I want to go back to the players we spoke about. You know, what we are seeing today, there's a lot of coaches around, which means that our players are exposed to persons that would give guidance, cricketing skill. And I mean, they are so much to look at now. And I mean, it's so many cricket on even on television, even at the highest level. So in my view, there's a lot for young players, so a lot for our players to a lot of information they can get to move on. And this is why I'm seeing that the discipline of the players, the desire to work hard, the desire to prepare themselves for the job they are going to do. I still think it's an area that is lacking in terms of players. Ball goes high into the air, the fielder comes around and takes actually dropped it. As we see the beginning of the 6th over, and Javed Hazard looking to swing really.
Didn't get to the pitch of the ball, and that's the reason why it didn't go very far. And catch should have been taken, but how often we see in cricket those misses. This time behind square on the offside. Great result. 4 square of the wicket, just behind. So they're motoring on.
One runs in the last 10 deliveries. And Ruel Williams, another good young player from St. Mark's, played out on the 19 level. Hit down to the long on fielder. Timing not there as it just dropped and bounced down to that long on position.
Yeah, this is, to me, a most critical period in the game. Yes, it's early stage, but it's so important that the challengers, Clove challengers, accelerate at this point down the track and hits that down to, did that go down to the third man area and the catch taken? So here he was advancing down the track. It was a bit wide of him. Dropped it in short. This was very good, sensible bowling indeed. So another wicket has gone. And just when we said how important it is to accelerate and to push the score along, that's when another wicket has fallen.
Yeah, all credit to Williams there. Ned was looking to charge him, and he saw it. And Williams dropped it short and pitched it a little bit wide. So Ned looking to hit it somewhere over third man, but the fielder, it went straight down to the fielder on the boundary, who just accepted a simple catch. So again, good wicket there for Saffron strikers. Ned was just beginning to get into his zone. So he went for 24 of 12 deliveries.
But 24 invaluable runs. A strike rate of about 150. And that might turn out to be a crucial cameo. So Sheldon Joseph has come out to join Hazard.
Goes down to mid wicket. He's off the mark. 58 for 4. So we see Williams coming in with his first over, picking up that valuable wicket of Darren Ned. Lofted down to mid wicket, and the fielder settles on it once again, takes another catch. It really has been good bowling, and credit to the field placement. I think it was looked like St. Paul who would have just settled under that catch and took a really simple catch.
Never looked like dropping it at all. It was so comfortable, just about 5 feet or 6 feet inside the boundary, and he had the frame of mind to know exactly where he was. And those are principles of good fielding. When you see fielders taking catches like that, you know that they know exactly where they are. And that's one of the things. If you're fielding on the boundary, there must be the presence of mind as to exactly where the boundary rope is. And he certainly knew. 58 for 5, 6 overs gone.
Yeah, so Saffron strikers really would feel pretty comfortable with the start that they have. We had 6 overs being bowled, 58 for 5. And I think all the bowlers that would have bowled well. Started with Pascal. And Lewis would have also bowled his 2 overs. They all picked up 2 wickets. And now we see Williams coming into the attack and also picking up 2 wickets in his first over, 2 for 8. So really have been a good bowling display so far by the Saffron strikers bowlers.
Cyrus brought into the attack. So they're putting even more pressures on the Clove challengers. Leg spin outside the off stump. First up, wide. Goes with the leg spinner, pitching it outside the off stump. Conventional leg spin is going to turn away, except it's the googly that would break its way back. Cyrus, who does enjoy his bowling. You can see that in his body language. He's got this spirited approach to the wicket. Does spin the ball from hand to hand in a rather dexterous, clever manner. And it's interesting though, Raphael, if you notice that he gave that one generous flight. He wasn't afraid to throw it up.
That is so good to see. I think one of his tendencies sometimes he try to bowl too fast and sometimes pulls it down. But it's good to see him giving the ball some air there and the player having to reach for it.
There was, in fact, an appeal for a run out. Good work by the bowler. Off his own bowling, hurled the return to the keeper's end, hit the leg stump. The batsman got home.
Yeah.
Fine work, really fine work.
Good decision by the umpire. This
Flatter.
Down to St. Paul there. This is catch taken once again. That ball, you're looking to clear that wide mid-wicket area and only succeeded. It hit it down to the fielder who came across and take a very good catch. That seemed to be also St. Paul in that area.
Good catch it was. He had to make some distance to his left. Made great coverage. Kept his eyes on the ball all the time, and that's important. Whether you're batting or bowling or fielding, you've got to keep your eyes on the ball. And he kept his eyes on the ball all the way. Had to stretch out, pulled off a good catch. And even when he tumbled over, still had the frame of mind to land somewhere around the elbow area and not allow the ball to spill with the impact of his body on the ground.
And what was good is his positioning. You see how his hands were held. He was really in good position, even though he had to move quickly to his left. But got himself in a really good position and really took that catch. Made it look very simple, but I think it's his movements and his positioning, and he was able to take that catch. Really good work by St. Paul in the outfield.
Great catch, really great catch. And you've got to have your best fielders in strategic areas. You know that the mid-wicket area is always going to be a high traffic catching area. So you'd want your best fielders with the best pairs of hands, so to speak, in those areas to take catches that very often are difficult.
61 for 60. We into the 7th over. Darren Hippolyte. This ball goes in the air, and let's see, just fall just short of the fielder coming in there from long on. As let's make sure who Darren Hippolyte there. Let's make sure that it's actually Hippolyte. It's caught Murray looking to swing.
Yeah, well, the over completed and 7 overs gone. And it's 62 for 6. I think this will be a bit of a disappointment on the part of Clove challengers. They've had a steady stream of falling wickets. 62 for 6 or 7. So no real extensive partnership.
Yeah, well, there really was no partnership at all. As we saw even from the beginning, there's Samuels and we have seen.
Yeah, but it was a good over by Darryl Cyrus. Picked up 1 for 4. So he was steady, economical. Nice shot. Really nice shot. And he sought to hit that straight. Didn't lose his shape at all. Look how well he hit it. Nice, beautiful, nice follow through. Cocked elbow. And that raced away straight for 4. Yeah. Lovely, really lovely.
Yeah, good shot played there by Hippolyte.
Notice he made an exaggerated move way outside the off stump. Hippolyte. even before the bowler had delivered, sort of exposing the leg stump. And the bowler still sprayed it outside the off stump. Good thinking. We'll get a single. Clipped up to mid-on.
That's 67 for 6. We are halfway into the 8th over. Has been a struggle for Clove challengers. Each of the bowlers would have picked up wickets. Cyrus picking up 1 wicket in his first over.
Yeah, that was wide. Much too wide. They've all bowled well. Williams, 2 for 14 so far. Well, there's still another 2.3, 2.2 overs to go. So they'll want to get, I would think, another 30 or so runs. But they won't get 30 or so with those sort of shots. Got to think about clearing the boundary.
I think they would certainly want to get up to the 3-figure mark. 100 at least.
It'll be rather difficult to get there, Rivel.
Yeah, just about 13 deliveries to go. It called for 2 big overs. $70 for 6 at complete 8 over. So
And
just 2 overs to go.
And
really
completes Williams' 2 overs. Ball 2 overs, 2 for 16. So that's pretty good returns.
Yes, I think generally the bowlers would have bowled well. Pascal had his lowest as he opened the bowling. They all picked up 2 wickets and bowled well. Didn't give much away. And we saw that the Clove challengers batsmen are really looking to go after them. We've seen 3 catches being taken on the mid-wicket fence. Again, batters really looking to clear that mid-wicket fence. Cyrus into his second over.
Looked rather ungainly playing that shot. Didn't seem to know where the ball went. Of course, called by the non-striker. Murray now comes in to strike. Tugs it down to mid-wicket. The return comes in. And they come back for the second run. So good aggressive running.
You know, sometimes it calls for sometimes orthodox play. You don't have to be swinging at every delivery. And you can still get quite a good challenging score. Even playing proper cricket shot. Courtmore is this sort of player that he does have the ability to hit the ball to clear this boundary, but more or less he will play more orthodox cricket. And I'm just wondering if he probably hasn't come in a little bit too late. His style of play.
Yeah, they will get another one for the overthrow. It always has to be this awareness where fielders would augment other fielders with throws. So you've got to be always backing up, not just the bowler. lives that down to the mid-wicket area, and that's gone all the way over the boundary line for another carriacou maximum hit, 6 runs.
Yeah, they certainly want to see more of this ball in the act, pitch up. He just had to get close to it and really hit it easily over mid-wicket. Again, Hippolyte just seemingly looking to play across. I think if he looked at it straight, he probably would have been in a better position to hit that one straight. But the 9th over was completed. 83 for 6.
Clove challengers won't be very happy with this total, 83 for 6. And I'm sure they would want to think here of adding another 17 runs in this final over, with 9 overs gone, just to psychologically bring 3 figures onto the scorecard. And to get there, they need 17. Is 83 for 6 of 9. And of course, to do that, they won't come in singles and twos. As I said early on, it's always important in particularly 10-10 cricket to be thinking about having at least 2 boundaries per over. And you can rotate twos and singles, but 2 boundaries and over, ideal for T10 cricket. Certainly that's not one of them.
So Kim Charles in his 2nd over. His first over was rather expensive. $83 for 6 into the 10th over.
That one is lifted down to the long on area, and the catch easily taken. Another wicket has gone. So Clove challengers losing one more. 7 down for 83. 9.2.
Yeah, this ball was dragged from outside the off stump down to the long on fielder. And really, when you look to play those sort of shots, you wouldn't get power, you wouldn't get placement. Probably would have been better advised hit or one over mid-off. There was Hippolyte looking to take advantage, just being whole out in at long on. So once again, Saffron strikers picking up another wicket, 83 for 7.
And interestingly, Rafael, all the bowlers have captured. They've captured a wicket.
Yeah, all the bowlers have picked up wicket. Kem Charles' first over, his first spell, first over was pretty expensive. Actually, went for 23. But he has come back and picked up a wicket. $83 for 7. With 3 deliveries remaining. This one is hit high. Where does this one go? The fielder coming around and it's dropped in front of him. And they come back for 2 runs. Caught Murray there. We'll have to go the last 2 deliveries. Just one run taken.
Well, at least Rogers have come off the mark. So he scored 1 of 2.
Picking up an important boundary, it seems there. Let's hear what the umpires say. So I just seem to go down to cover. And I just want to verify whether or not, as we see here, Yeah, this certainly would have touched the rope, and yes, he will signal 4 now.
4 welcome run, invaluable runs for
Certainly
Clove
did.
challengers. This is the final delivery coming
Well,
up.
seems as though it was not signaled. Final delivery goes down to mid wicket. Again, send ball coming in very quickly there as a fielder come back for 2 runs and just failed to make the crease. So once again, run out, last delivery. Good work again by St. Paul, running around quickly on that mid-wicket boundary and rifling that wicket back to the keeper. And Richards just seemingly failing to, good work there again, failing to reach his ground. And Clove Challengers has lost their 8 wicket with the final delivery. And we're just going to confirm the score. 88 for 8 after 10 overs. Really is a sort of performance that I believe that Saffron strikers will be pleased with.
Absolutely pleased with it. And any team dismissed or restricted to under 100, I think the fielding team can feel that they've done a pretty good job. So Saffron strikers, they need to get to 89 of 10 overs, with Clove challengers getting 88 for 8, all the 8s on the board. I think they'll be disappointed with their performance. Might well be about, I would think, maybe 20 runs short of what they would like to have. But the old-fashioned cricket cliche, runs on the board, are runs on the board. But they have, I would think, just a slightly working target of 89 to work with. Can they defend that? Well, we'll have to wait and see. They've bowled well, Saffron strikers. They will have to bat well now. Clove challengers will have to do similar to that which Saffron strikers did in terms of the bowling department. And of course, this match is still open. We wait the response of Saffron strikers, and in a few minutes you can rejoin us for the run chase. Interesting match here. Clove challengers against the Saffron Strikers, and Saffron Strikers, they need 89 in 10 overs. Well, it's not a tall order, but the way that we've seen things go here, it may not be surprising that the total is not overhauled. But it should not be a difficult task, really. 88 for 8, I would think that they're probably 20 runs short, I would think, Justin.
Probably, but in T10s, you'll find some scores over 100, but a number of them a lot of times just be under 100 and create for interesting matches. And of course, Clove challengers, they has a lot of bowling in their armory. Because they have about 7 bowlers in the, if you look at it, they have about 7 bowlers or 7 all-rounders basically in the team.
Looks as though they will start with Amikel to be set. And who will be taking strike? That's Raquel Sylvester.
Yes. A lot of eyes would be on these young players. Already, Raquel did have spill one chance all day. So, an area of his game, I think he needs to do quite a bit of work, Raquel.
Yeah, wide confirmed by the umpire. Would have been a sort of close one.
Yeah, pretty close.
Ooh. That one was a bit tight, so Saffron Strikers off the mark. Here is to be set once more to bowl to Sylvester. Let's put on a bit of weight as to be set. Sweeper comes off the boundary. Such an important position, that. The sweeper position. And on contrasting sides, of course, if you got the sweeper on the offside and the deep mid-wicket on the leg side, those two are principal fielding spots. And as I said before, you've got to have your best fielders in those areas, the high traffic areas. Charles lifts that down the ground, and they're going to come back for the second run, would they? Yes, they did. Ball might have just straightened on him as he looked to go airborne. And did that really carry, Justin, you thought?
Probably may have just got the tip of the fingers to it, but it was a good delivery, and he did. Charles looking to play on the onside. The ball coming out, edged and easy.
Gone. Caught that slip. Was that the slow ball? But it might have just moved off the seam a bit. Let's look at it again. Yeah, looking to drive, but feet nowhere to the pitch of the ball. He really didn't reach out to the ball. And no wonder the catch was taken, and taken quite nonchalantly too. Simple dismissal. Well, so, Saffron Strikers, they've lost their first wicket. 4 runs on the board.
Well, it's so refreshing to see slip catches in T10. A lot of the time you don't see too many slips being employed. it's good to see that they're starting with a sleep. In fact, they need to take wickets because at the end of the day, it's only what 85 runs required, and they need to really peg the Saffron strikers back.
So Kem Charles have not given the scorers any trouble at all. Let's look at it again. No pitch and his feet nowhere to the pitch. Now that left pad, if you're going to drive the ball, it means that that left pad has to be down and across so that you can get to the pitch of the ball. He didn't do that, just with loose hands, sparred at it, took the outside edge, simple catch, and that really was poor batting by Charles.
Yes, push a long way away from the body.
Wide delivery, much too wide. Brings extras into play. So here's Nicobe John facing up and pushes the ball down to the cover area and gets off the mark. No, sorry, that was, yes, got off the mark. Just look, they do look a bit uncertain. We've not seen many of the batsmen going out there and looking rather confident and certain in the stroke play. They just look rather tentative.
Yeah, indeed.
On both sides.
Yeah. As small as the total may seem, well, not, it's relatively small. You could say in 10 overs, 83. They still has to be careful. They have to ensure that they're busy between the wicket and they keep picking up the singles, rotating the strike. Yeah. And of course, kind of seen Nicholas Redhead, we'll see in competition probably for the first time for a while. He has had some injuries. Probably still is recovering from some.
It really is a shame, though, because here is a player who really loves his game and is rather passionate about it, but has been plagued with injuries over the years. In the air, high in the air, and the catch is going to be taken by the keeper. It was short, rising, looking to pull. The ball took the top edge of the bat, spiraled. He dug it in. Yes, he definitely dug it in. Got up to about chest height and looking to pull. Didn't cue it all that well. Didn't go very far either. Spiraled, but didn't make the sort of distance boundary would. And so another wicket has fallen. Sylvester goes for one. It's now 6 for 2. Saffron strikers.
Well, it seemed like John is the batsman dismissed, it seemed. But he was never in position to play that shot. It was a shortish delivery and trying to pull it away on the onside, the ball bouncing. And if anything, probably a little shape away from him. So therefore, he was never in control. Only managed to hit it straight up. And of course, the wicketkeeper coming around. And taking a simple catch and 2 down. So
Redhead capturing a wicket with his first ball. You don't want a better price than that, do you?
Yeah,
do you, Justin?
So that's what I'm saying. The Saffron they need to be very, very careful here.
Was a good delivery there by Redhead. This one a little pitched a little further up.
Again, a good delivery because the batsman were never managed to get in line, but the ball just passing pretty close to the shoulder of the bat and going through to the keeper.
Kevin Francis will want to do something special here, batting at number 4. Outside the off stump. And looking to play a forcing shot of the back foot. But the ball may have been too close for that shot and didn't give himself sufficient width and room rather to do that.
I think they could ill afford to lose another wicket in a short space of time again.
Yeah, not a good start at all by Saffron strikers. They probably thought, well, this is a simple target, 85, 89 for victory. But having lost 2 wickets for 7 runs and into the second over, their backs are against the wall rather early in the innings.
None of the batters have actually looked assured. Looking at them. Just swishing outside the off stump, and just a slight bit of movement away from the right-hander for Nicholas.
Yeah, it's not trying to bolt too fast. I think that's the right thing too. If you're coming back from prolonged injury, it's so important that you gradually work your way into top shape fitness. And that's what Reddit should be thinking about. Lifts that high down to the deep mid-wicket area and gets a maximum carry power hit 6. Got right under that one and lifted it nicely, just whipped it off the legs, and it went soaring over the deep mid-wicket boundary. And that's 6 runs. And that should just sort of ease the shackles a little bit. 2 overs gone, 13 for 2.
And it was a good shot in more than one way. The fact that he just he did a little shimmer down the wicket, managed to help him to access the ball, almost got it on the half volley, and all he had to do was to lift it over the infield, and it went all the way for 6.
Outside of that, it was a good over. Nicholas Redhead just picking up a wicket with his first ball, and 4 balls after that were dot balls, and then that 6 with his last ball. Here once more is to be said. He tucks that down to the mid-wicket area, and it's going to go over the boundary line now for 4. Nice shot. Certainly needed that onto the back foot. It was short enough and got inside the line and pulled it nicely through mid-wicket for 4. So 2 boundaries coming in quick succession.
Of course, the wicket not as tall as Nicholas Redhead. Yeah. Another wide. That's one area though that Clove cannot give too much away, too many extras away in a close game.
Yeah, you've got to be tight as possible. To be set. 1 for 11. He's into his second. Oh, that was a good delivery. It really was. I think it also took the keeper by surprise standing up. just seemed to rise sharply. Yeah, let's look at that again. Inward movement, it snaked his way through, and the keeper himself may well have been hit. Was he hit?
Possibly off the shoulder of the batsman.
Could have
Seems
been.
more likely.
Oh, it's so dangerous when you're standing up. But these days, of course, you've got to be helmeted to do that.
It's 19 for 2, and they're going on rather pedestrianly. You know, like, I mean, they're not really under too much pressure at the moment in terms of the rate, the required rate, which is still under 10. But they have to keep an eye on that.
Slow ball. Lift. Down over the boundary line. You could have seen that there was that slow delivery. And hit that for a carriacou 6. Got right under it and lifted it. There was a lot of muscles involved. Straight down over the bowler's head and went all the way for a carriacou hit 6.
A good hit there by Raquel Sylvester. And not too often you see Michael Dubisset using this amount of variations.
Yeah. How challenging is it, Justin, for the keeper to be keeping up to the medium pace bowler in regards to, maybe in contrast to just standing back?
Well, in the modern game, I think you'll see a lot more of that because so much of these games are part of the shorter versions. And you don't want to put the batsman under pressure. You don't want the batsman to try to leave the ground too often to offset the bowler. So wicketkeepers in general are doing this a lot more often than they used to in the past.
So 3 overs gone, 25 for 3. And it does demand a certain degree of skill, Justin, and heart to be keeping up to the medium pace bowler. Good eyesight, good hand coordination, and you still got to remember to take the ball with soft hand. You didn't do much for keeping in your time, did you? No, Justin?
No. A bit of it in wind ball and stuff and things like that, but not too much.
It's one of the areas of the game I never attempted. May have put on a pair of wicket-keeping gloves, perhaps just once in my life. And that was just to see how it felt, really. And immediately putting it on, I realized that I couldn't be a wicket-keeper.
Jackson.
So Jackson pulled into the attack, and Redhead given just 1 over.
Yes.
Your thoughts?
I guess with his probably level of fitness and taking all of that into consideration, I would probably just give him 1 still and can come back for another later if necessary.
Advancing down the track, drags it, gets it behind square on the leg side. That's not where he wanted. I think he's disappointed.
It's ball coming off more the inner portion of the bat.
Yes. Would have liked to hit that straighter, but it went behind square on the leg side. Got 1. Brings Raquel Sylvester into strike. Yeah, sometimes you wonder whether the approach of these batsmen to 20 the 10-10 cricket is really the right one. So many of the batsmen do lose their shape. And you can play good, genuine cricket shots and score heavily and quickly. Down the track, looking to clip that, and goes much finer than he probably anticipating. I think the bowler saw him coming and tried to spear it into the leg stump, but just managed to squeeze it down to fine leg. Turned out to be a good shot there.
Yes, he did take it right off the toes and pick it rather fine down behind square for 4.
Yeah, the bowler saw him coming, it's Jackson, because he did move early and said, look, I'm going to slant that into the leg stump. And he clipped it nicely, fine. Got 4. So they need 58 of 39. That's gettable.
Oh, and more.
Wide. Another boundary. Doesn't come off the bat, but that was wayward. Dug in and went down to the fine leg boundary for 4. So they've really begun to accelerate now. 30 coming off the last 14 deliveries. So the equation is that they need 53 of 39. Here's Jackson once more. Just guilty of spraying that last delivery, previous delivery down the leg side.
Again, choosing to go short as he was previously. And
But it was a good shot delivery too.
yeah, the stone was a lot closer to the batter. It was, and probably a little bit quicker too than previous.
So the umpire signaling 1 for the over. Above the shoulder.
Good slower ball.
And it was not just the fact that the pace was taken off, but the fact that it was also pitched up. So he couldn't get under the ball. Or underneath it rather. Good bowling that. When you're playing this game, you've got to be thinking all the time. Well, no ball signaled by the umpire.
I was going to miss the leg stump anyway. We slanted down the leg side, but being penalized for not for transgressing the line.
So it's going to be a free hit.
Just got to be so disciplined as a bowler.
Can Francis now capitalize on that? He's got freedom to do whatever he wants. He would need a boundary here. Well, he certainly doesn't get a boundary. Made an exaggerated movement across the pitch. Wondered whether that was necessary really. But they get a single.
So 39 for 2. And still needing 50 runs from 6 overs. So the current rate, they're scoring at a far higher rate than is required. So it means that they're a bit ahead of the game. To be caught, Murray will pick up the attack from the northern end. He will be bowling to his good friend Rical Sylvester. Attempted sweep there by Sylvester. And wide being signal as the ball being slanted down the leg side. And a little bit crony, say welcome back, and just a little bit sloppy, the Clove, the Clove players in the last 2-3 overs or so.
Yeah, you expected them to be a lot tighter. Having picked up 2 early wickets has meant really that they would have had.
And that's close, and
good decision. Hit in front.
Yes, out.
Hit in front, and really there's no need for that. They are just on 40. And it just meant he just pushed it around. He swung right across this one.
Oh, yeah.
And was hit in front, and really umpire had no choice but to put his hands up.
That's exactly what we were talking about before you came on air. The whole approach to batting. Yeah, and the perfect example of it. You're not under real pressure. You're 40 for 2 in the 4th over, chasing 80, 85, 86. There's no real need for that.
So you only need 49 from 35 deliveries, and really, which is normal batting.
Yeah.
And really, that shot really was not required. But again, just going back to the point that we made first in terms of the approach of Clove challengers, I thought that last 2 overs was not the best, was sort of erratic. We saw Jackson coming in his first over and 5 wides, and really it was not the sort of penetrative bowling that you expect. And as I said before, after you would have picked up 2 early wickets and seemingly have Saffron strikers on the back foot, but they just release the pressure. But with 49 to run still to score of 35 deliveries, you would think that is not difficult on a pitch like this.
No, it shouldn't be. I mean, but with that approach, you never know. If they lose another two wickets, add 2 wickets to that total, and the game again hangs in the balance. And one expect the slower bowlers or the slow bowler to bring back some degree of control, and we'll see how it goes, because in this format of the game, scores under 100 are very difficult to even. Yeah, and it's really something just in the mind, because there's no scoreboard pressure, as we were saying earlier.
Yeah, you have to stick to your game plan and be clear in your mind. This one goes high into there, the fielder coming off long on there, and the ball just dropping before him. But again, he looking to flick, and that really seemingly playing across this one, and just seemed to get the leading edge of the bat, and went down to where a mid-on fielder would have been, and picked up the single. Murray just seemed to be creating a little problem in his first over. Batsmen seemed to be struggling, and this one he hit on the pad, and let's see what happens here. This look close. I don't know if it probably came on the bat, but it will be interesting to see the replay here. But certainly was a good delivery that went through him.
Well, it looked even more out to me than look at it again than the previous. Well, what did that miss? I don't know what it missed. But
this certainly. I think you probably got that wrong. The umpire did get that wrong. He went through him and was sit in front.
Yes, and Riquel almost like he was almost going, walking already. Well, I guess the umpire is in charge.
43 for 3 in the 5th over. And Court Murray picking up a wicket in his first over. Very unlucky now to pick up another one. Here the spinners. This one they sit down to cover. A fielder comes off the boundary. The end of what has been a very good over.
Yeah, and probably, as I said, should have probably had a second, and that was not to be. But it's 5 overs gone, 44. Still a game on, still 5 overs to go. They still has to get another 46 runs, 45 runs in 30 balls. Anything can happen.
Yeah, it could be really an interesting game that will go
And,
right
and
up.
that's an interesting
right
battle
up to the
too
wire.
between Court and Raquel. They know each other very well. They play quite a lot of cricket together and against each other. So that'll be very interesting.
So 44 for 3, 5 overs completed. Saffron strikers need to get up to 89 for victory. And Clove challengers just seem to be making a comeback, making it a little more difficult. See the first over spin from Court Murray did create quite a degree of challenge for the batsman. And picking up 1 wicket, and very unlucky now to pick up another one. As a welcome, Rondell with us here. Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Raphael, and a really interesting encounter taking place here in this second match of day 1 of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. Certainly even Stevens at this point. You look at the equation, 45 required in 30. Very gettable. If you're the batting team, you would consider yourself in the ascendancy, only 3 wickets down.
Yeah, I would support that. You batting, you feel very comfortable with there. Well, we have seen some stranger things happening in this game. St. Paul, as we know, is one that hits the ball very long, and you know, he would have played some very good in this T10 over the years. Have some experience. He picks up a single off his first delivery.
Yeah, certainly St. Paul has been in good form. Just coming off the NLAGC T20.
This is lofted down to mid-off. Again, batsman not getting to the pitch, just looking to swing. And we continue to speak about getting into the right position to play a shot. At Sylvester. Raquel Sylvester is on 20 from 19 deliveries. And that ball goes down to that square leg position for 4. Pitch up. I think St. Paul's were looking to hit a bit straighter. Seemingly coming off the edge and go through what would be a slower delivery. Get it through square leg.
I tell you what, that was a really good shot in the end because you look at the delivery and he seemed to be beating all ends up, but somehow he manages to get the outside edge and it went past that man there at square leg into the boundary for 4.
$51 for 3. This current partnership just 11. So 38 needed from another 25 deliveries.
Yeah, Saffron strikers here will need a couple boundaries just to be a bit more comfortable.
Where this goes down to mid-wicket and goes over mid-wicket for a huge 6. And St. Paul again showing the metal that he made of, picking this one on the up. Again, probably a slow delivery attempted and hitting it way over mid-wicket for a welcome boundary.
He really timed this one well. Really didn't try to overhit. I think he just ensured that he remained steady at the point of contact. And he was just able to lift it high enough to get it over the ropes for 6. So a really good shot from St. Paul. If he remains out there, certainly the Saffron strikers, they will get home, and they will get home quickly.
Yes, and that's for sure. That's the sort of player he is. So he quickly goes St. Paul 14. Caught Murray, who was bowler good over. And probably interesting, we saw the last over bowled by Caught Murray. It was a spin and it created some problem. One of them felt, just looking at the squad to see if you have another spinner that probably would have been able to come from the other end. But they went for pace in Darren Ned, and we see how easy it is. How easy you can score from the quicker bowlers. So there's Scott Murray, Richard Rogers, who pretty good leg spinner. We haven't seen him yet. We have seen him. We have not seen him bowl yet. And sometimes you look at the game and think about the strategy, but based on what you have seen from that first spin, you would quickly want to get in the other spinner. And they went for pace. Murray in his second over. This ball will go over the short fine leg and goes down to the boundary for 4. It's a little shortish in length. Yeah. And
Tell you what, St. Paul did really well because that ball was a bit slow. It took the top edge and it went up. Fortunate for him, he was able to really swivel on it to help get it around.
So another 6 to St. Paul. This is short, and again he's probably giving it a full treatment. Short delivery, again put over backward square for another 6.
Yeah, good hitting from St. Paul. Does like it short, St. Paul. Once you bang it in short there, he has enough time to rock back and to really deposit this one anyway over that mid-wicket region. So really some momentum going into the innings of St. Paul. And like we said, once he remains there, they will get home in a hurry.
Yeah, doing it quickly. St. Paul goes to 24 of just 9 deliveries. 68 for 3. And Caught Murray here being hit for 2 sixes. Again, short deliveries. At 68 for 3 into the 7th over. 21 needed from 20 deliveries. And Murray.
Again, a good comeback delivery there from Murray. It's good to see Murray. We saw Bartholomew earlier. We saw Toussaint. You know, we have quite a few under 19 players who really hold their own.
And it's good to see the young players getting into this format with the senior players. Which would help them only to improve from where they're at. So 7 overs completed, 69 for 3 Saffron strikers. 20 runs required in some 18 deliveries.
Yeah, really momentum with the Saffron strikers. The dressing room of the strikers will feel a bit more happy. I think their nerves would be settled quite a bit. What the Clove challengers may just need here is to see the back of St. Paul.
Yeah.
And that would make the game a bit more interesting.
I can safely say Saffron strikers, they are in control. They will have to lose from here. So let's see who will be picking up, and it seems as though it's more pace.
Well, it's Sheldon Joseph. I was just about to
in
say.
the air, the cover coming around and just drop between the two fielders. He's out, run out. Looks pretty close. Yes, he is. Yeah, and that was really a good decision there. Trying to take 2 in the process. And unfortunately there, it seemed to be, who is it? Is Rickard Sylvester?
Sylvester goes.
Just failing to make his ground.
Partnership broken. A new batter has to come to the crease. 21 from 20. Not a bad day out. But in the context of what is needed, you needed the strike rate to be a bit more. But nonetheless, he remained out there. From the time he got out there, he had a couple batters in partnership with him. Not really much to speak of, but job done. Let's see what happens from here on in.
Yeah, so it's 19 from 17. I think what Saffron strikers have going for them, there's still 6 wickets to go. I think making it difficult for themselves.
Well, what that wicket has just done is to bring Adrian Thomas to the crease. And if you're from Carriacou, you would know him as Moggy, one who clears the ropes a long way. This is someone, when he hits them, they stay hit. And so with these two power hitters for the Saffron strikers, I think they will feel happy to have these two to bring the game home.
So 70, he's off the mark. 4. And the aggressive St. Paul. 27 from 13 delivery. Thomas face is hitting the way this goes down to, goes over the long off fielder. And as you said, first delivery being just ease over long off for 6.
Exactly what I'm saying. This is Moggy for you. In line, just lifting it. Not overhitting, but just picking it, keeping his shape, clearing the man there at the long on, and really bringing up 6 welcome runs to his team.
Yeah, these 2 batters that's in the wicket now, really certainly it wouldn't take long before the game is concluded. And this one goes down the leg side. Let's see what we signal there. And that's wide. That's 5 wide. So just in 2 deliveries. 7 runs is needed for victory. 82 for 4. Again, one question. Again, the fast bowler coming back on. And not the spinner.
Yes, certainly has to question that move.
And again, you're going to pick up another boundary. This was go down to a vacant slip position. Again, Thomas looking to hit straight, comes off the edge. And with no slipping position at this stage. The ball went fine down to probably what be between first and second slip. And go down to the boundary for 4. So very quickly, Saffron strikers 86 for 4. Just require 3 runs for victory. And where this goes down to mid wicket, and the batsman just amble a single. So Thomas quickly on 11, just 3 deliveries.
Yes, and game been wrapped up rather quickly in the end. The hitting off, of course, of St. Paul. And I'm wondering if you would want to end it with something big. You need only 1 now.
Well, I think they will try to avoid losing much wickets. And we're going to come down to probably your better run rate at the end of the tournament. The things are close, so you want to make sure at 88 for 4, just 1 run needed. You wouldn't want to lose another wicket at this point in time. But has been, this pair has really kind of turned it around when it looked as though they were in some sort of difficulty. But again, the quality of, the whole old cricket of Clove challengers. Yeah, I think you won't need to question the batting. They came on and picked up 2 early wickets, and one would have felt, now we could sort of put a little pressure. But we didn't see that happening in terms of the feeling. And even in terms of the strategy, in terms of who bowl when.
course, Nicholas Redhead took 1 wicket in his first over and he didn't come back for another. Probably could have been given both overs. You'd wanting to see if he can maybe could have prized another 1 out and put it batting under some more pressure.
And
That's
this
it.
one hit down to cover. And the Ambler single. And that
Yeah.
really would take the score to 89 for 4. What have been, rather comfortable victory. The umpires just trying to make sure that that's the end of the game. Still trying to make sure from where we sit 89 for 4 with 8.1 over. And now it's confirmed that Saffron striker would have won this game rather easily.
Rather easily in the end. Yeah. And, they're probably in the back of the striking from St. Paul in the end. I think today probably some of the bowlers bowled to St. Paul knowing his arc. I thought there were too many deliveries in the area where if you know St. Paul likes to go between mid-wicket and mid-on in that general area.
But to be fair, I don't think the bowlers bowled well.
No. They didn't.
And they couldn't ask for a better start. They were 7 for 2.
Yeah.
And then we saw, it was just some ill-disciplined bowling. We saw Jackson when he came on, there was one particular over bowled 5 wides. Just seemed to be spraying it. I guess the focus was on pace.
Yeah.
And not really on line, and not trying to keep things tight. Bowled one side. The pace that you had, you could afford to bowl on one side and keep things very tight. We didn't see that happening. We saw in the late rounds Joseph coming on bowler over, and which was pretty expensive. Again, one probably could challenge in terms of the strategy that have been used. Court Maureen is first over, and really should have picked up 2 wickets. Maybe that probably would have made a difference. We don't know, but be that as may, his first over created some problems with the batters. And then pace came from the next end.
Yeah.
When you would have thought, now, seeing what had happened in this particular over, no, you had to bring back an ex-bowler in Rogers.
Yeah.
A leg spinner who has done pretty well in this tournament. And we haven't seen him bowl a delivery. So one sometimes question the strategies and what you want to do. And I think they would have missed a trick there.
But generally, from the batting, and that seemed to have been transferred to them in the field. They looked a little bit disjointed. They never really looked in control at any time. Some of the manner in which some of the batsmen got out left a lot of questions as to the whole commitment and the whole mental aspect of the game. They're not really coming to the fore there. So it was not surprising that they wasn't even quite up to mark in the field also.
It just seems as if they came into this game not really prepared.
Yeah.
And maybe expect things to flow.
Yeah.
Because they both have a good team. I mean, they have the likes of Keto, there's Jackson, there's Samuel. These are players who would have played at national level. So they have players who have played at high level. So we have come to the end of the second game. Saffron Strikers won by 6 wickets. Being asked to make 89 for victory. They would have reached a target with the loss of 4 wickets. And again, Javel St. Paul's ended on 25. And he would have played a good hand to make sure that they really reached a score which was required for victory. We have seen 2 games being played here today, and result, as it for the team, well, we have seen the first game, the result went for the team batting first.
Yes.
Today we have seen result going for the team batting second. At this time, we go down on the ground. Rondell is there with the player of the match, so we go right over to Rondell.
All right, so we are here for the post-match presentation, and I'm here speaking with Roland Keto, the captain of the Clove. Challengers, Roland, not the result you wanted?
Nah, that's definitely not the way we wanted to start the tournament, but that is cricket, you win some, you lose some.
All right. Looking at your batting innings, your thoughts on the score posted?
I think the way we batted it was unacceptable. We didn't score enough runs, so I think that the bowlers bowled really well. The wicket was a good wicket, and credit to the guys. I think that they bowled well and they batted well, so they deserve to win this game.
All right. Your bowling innings really maybe not the way you wanted it. In terms of the fielding and so on, a few areas where you need to tighten up.
Yeah, I think we need to be more disciplined with the bowling, and if we bowl into one area, we have to stick to one area and not try things. But it just happened that today we didn't come off. His first game can be too hard on the guys. I think that the guys did well, so just look forward to the next game.
All right, well, you heard it there from Roland Keto. The Clove Challengers not coming up victorious, but it's early. This is only day number 1. I'm going to be speaking next with the captain of the Saffron Strikers. Kem, you went out into the field. You did a pretty good job. What was the directive to your bowlers?
I mean, we know T10 is a game that's really fast, so it was just about bowling tight, let the game come to you because we know the batsman going to attack.
All right. You restricted the Clove Challengers. Your thoughts going out to defend this total?
Well, we know in the past, low totals can be very tricky, so we wanted to get a fast start, but unfortunately we didn't. But I mean, we knew with the power we have, we could always catch up in the end.
All right, so what is it that the Saffron Strikers fans can look forward to come your next game?
Well, we have another overseas player coming, Cheyenne Braffett, and he's very exciting, so we look forward to having him.
All right, so there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Saffron Strikers, they won this encounter, and so good luck to you guys in the next game, and hope to see where you end at the end of the tournament. And I also have with me Daryl Cyrus, and so we're going to be having a quick chat with Daryl. And Daryl, if you can just... So Daryl, you had your first game, your first outing. Looking at the results that you had last year, you have a good start yet again this year. Tell us, how does the Saffron Strikers really intend to go about this season?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank God for the opportunity to play this game of cricket. Last year didn't go as planned for the Saffron Strikers. Obviously me, I had to step up this year, so it's just a matter of coming back and doing well this year.
All right, so you may not be around for all of the games. When you're ready to leave, what instructions would you be leaving?
No, just a matter of the guys, keeping the momentum. We are after a great start, and with the likes of Cheyenne Braffett coming in, I think he would add great impetus to the batting. So it's just a matter of the guys sticking to the plan. Momentum is a good thing in cricket, so just sticking to that.
All right, so Daryl, good luck. I know there is some movements for you. We're gonna expose that a little bit later on, but for now, we just want to wish you and the Saffron Strikers good luck as we go through the tournament. All right. We are going to have a presentation, and we are going to be presenting the Impact Bowler of the Match and also the Man of the Match for today's encounter. All right, so here we have the Impact Player of the Match, the Global Services Inc. Impact Bowler of the Match, and it's none other than Neilon Pascal, and he will be presented with his check from the Vice President of the Grenada Cricket Association, Mr. Batiste. All right, Neilon, quickly. You are the Impact Bowler, veteran at this thing. How difficult was it to really execute your plans today?
Well, I try to keep it simple as possible. Try to keep the ball on one line and length, watch the batsman movements, and keep it off today.
All right, so with that sort of experience, what can Saffron Strikers fans look forward to for the remainder of the season?
Well, you know, the more ball, the better I get. So from this game going forward, it'll be something special for this year, for the Saffron.
All right, Nilan, well, good luck for the rest of the tournament, and we hope that you can pick up a few more impact bowlers stats to be the impact bowler at the end of the tournament. And we are now going to have the presentation for the Carib power hitter, the batsman hitting the most sixes in this match, and it goes to none other than Darren. Darren, congratulations. All right, Darren, you went out there to set a total for your team. May not have worked, but you certainly had the impetus in terms of clearing the boundary. How difficult was it to bat out there?
Yeah, it was difficult losing some early wicket in the first set of overs. Was trying to go out there and just rotate it, but it was difficult to get the balls off the mark at first. But nail and just keep myself positive and just keep striking the ball good.
All right, so in terms of the track and the way it's playing, what can we expect from that track? What do you think we can expect?
To be real, it's a bit of the slow side. There's a lot of slower balls will be working on that wicket there, to be exact. Once you bowl full, once you come hard, the ball will travel.
All right, well, Darren, good luck, and we hope that you certainly clear some more sixes, that at the end of the tournament you could actually be the power hitter of the tournament. So good luck to you and the Clove challengers as you go along. And so we are here for the final presentation, which is the most valuable player of the match, or the man of the match as we normally would call it. And that award goes to none other than Javel St. Paul. And so Javel will be presented his check. All right, Javel, you have a victory. How difficult was it to bring up this victory today?
It wasn't difficult at all, you know. We play good cricket, and most of the guys, everyone is familiar with each other. So we just had one thing in mind: just go there, play the simplest cricket and play easy cricket, and make sure that victory is starting off on a good note.
All right, you did start off on a good note. With the bat, you really got off to a flying start, hitting some really good lusty blows. How difficult was it to bat on the wicket?
It wasn't difficult at all. I played a lot of franchise cricket around the Windwards, and I've gained a lot of knowledge, and I plan to implement it for the rest of the season and further in my career. So I know that whatever I've learned around the Windward Islands, I'm using it here now, so I know that I'll be effective.
All right, so what can the Saffron Strikers fans look forward to from Javel St. Paul?
I'll just keep that in mind, that they will look for great things.
All right, so there we had it, ladies and gentlemen. We've been speaking to Javel St. Paul of the Saffron Strikers. And that brings an end to day number 1 of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 Season 5. I hope you enjoyed, and we ask you to stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll be right back here at the Last Just Playing Field for 2 more very interesting encounters. So from us here at the Last Just Playing Field, we're signing off saying see you tomorrow.